technological advance that we still have about 50 million people who haven't even gotten started on vaccinations.
Yeah.
How did that happen? How did we get all this so mixed up with social media misinformation and political insertion into the discussion? This is the thing for me on my last day as NIH director that I find particularly frustrating.
Yeah, Dr. Collins, we always hear follow the science, and you know science is observation, description, experimentation, then explanation. But it seems that a lot of health policymakers have been trying to silence opposing views. In a newly released set of emails received from Freedom of Information Act between you and Dr. Fauci in October of 2020, you referenced the Great Barrington Declaration. That was a group of epidemiologists and public health scientists who wrote, quote, "We have grave concerns about the damaging physical and mental health impacts of prevailing COVID-19 policies. Continuing current lockdown policies are producing devastating effects on short and long-term public health." In this email to Dr. Fauci and Cliff Lane at NIH, you write, quote, "Hi, Tony and Cliff. See," and you connect to the Great Barrington Declaration link, "this proposal from 3 fringe epidemiologists who met with the secretary seems to be getting a lot of attention, and even a co-signature from a Nobel Prize winner, Mike Levitt, at Stanford. There needs to be a quick and devastating public takedown of its premises. I don't see anything like that online yet. Is it underway?" Francis, did you write that?
I did write that, and I will
Why?
stand by that. Let me explain. What was being proposed there was basically saying, let's not worry about mitigation. Let's just let this virus rip. This is, of course, before we had vaccines. And basically, these, I will call them fringe epidemiologists who really did not have the credentials to be making such a grand sweeping statement, were saying, just let the virus run through the population, and eventually then everybody will have had it and we'll be okay. Hundreds of thousands of people would have died if we had followed that strategy. So I'm sorry, I was opposed to that. I still am, and I'm not going to apologize for it. There are times when people make crazy proposals on the basis of pseudoscience, and that needs to be called out.
Right, but I guess it just follows this track with the early days downplaying or trying to discredit the lab leak theory from Wuhan. Why spend the time doing that when we're talking about observation, description, experimentation, and explanation? I mean, now it seems like the lab leak is a real possibility.
Well, Brett, I'm really sorry that the lab leak has become such a distraction for so many people, because frankly, we still don't know. There is no evidence really to say. Most of the scientific community, myself included, think that is a possibility, but far more likely this was a natural way in which a virus left a bat, maybe traveled through some other species and got to humans, and there was no lab leak involved. We won't know unless China decides to open up about this, which they have not done, and shame on them for that.
Dr.
But
Collins,
this has been a huge distraction. If I could just say,
basically keep it, everybody should take this seriously, is your bottom line message.
Yes. Yeah, we got to remember, this is the enemy. It's not the other people in the other political party. It's not the people on Facebook who are posting all sorts of crazy conspiracies. This is the enemy. We in this country have somehow gotten all fractured into a hyper-polarized, politicized view that never should have been mixed with public health. It's been ruinous. And history will judge harshly those people who have continued to defocus the effort and focus on conspiracies and things that are demonstrably false. Shame on all of us that we've gotten into this kind of pickle. We could still turn this around, but you know, it's Christmas, so let's think about that. Let's think about how our weary world could maybe start rejoicing, because we have a gift coming to us on Christmas Day that ought to be better than any of the things we're talking about right now. But boy, do we need to get together.
Yeah, Dr. Collins, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and thank you for the service to the country.
Thanks, Brett. Merry Christmas to you too.